Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Appreciate your patience this morning. We've been having some technical difficulties. So the devotional today is very special. It will be led by former Representative Carolyn Partridge of Windham and bagpiper Ben Partridge of Windham.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a delight to be here and join you today. And we've got the Page Day. It's very special. And I want to say before we get started that I really want you to know that we really appreciate the work you're doing here. I'll also note that as a positive sign, I see the big old trash can behind where I used to sit. So that's always a good sign that you're coming down the home stretch, right? So I'm going to say to you a poem today by Billy Collins, which is my favorite, and I've said it here before, but hopefully you haven't all heard it. And then Ben's going to play a few tunes for you. So this is The Lanyard. The other day, as I was ricocheting slowly off the blue walls of this room, bouncing from typewriter to piano, from bookshelf to an envelope lying on the floor, I found myself in the L section of the dictionary, where my eyes fell on the word lanyard. No cookie nibbled by a French novelist could send one more suddenly into the past. A past where I sat at a workbench at a camp by a deep Adirondack lake, learning how to braid thin plastic strips into a lanyard, a gift for my mother. I had never seen anyone use a lanyard or wear one, if that's what you did with them. But that did not keep me from crossing strand over strand again and again until I had made a boxy red and white lanyard for my mother. She gave me life and milk from her breasts, and I gave her a lanyard. She nursed me in many a sick room, lifted teaspoons of medicine to my lips, set cold face cloths on my forehead, then led me out into the airy light and taught me to walk and swim, and I, in turn, presented her with a lanyard. Here are thousands of meals, she said, and here's clothing and a good education. And here's your lanyard, I replied, which I made with a little help from a counselor. Here is a breathing body and a beating heart, strong legs, bones and teeth, and two clear eyes to read the world, she whispered. And here, I said, is the lanyard I made at camp. And here, I wish to say to her now, is a smaller gift, not the archaic truth that you can never repay your mother, but the rueful admonition that when she took the two-toned lanyard from my hands, I was sure as a boy could be that this useless, worthless thing I wove out of boredom would be enough to make us even. Thank you.
Members, it is our custom on Fridays to honor members of the House who have passed away since our last memoriam. Will you please rise as we remember two former House members who we lost earlier this month? Representative Jason A. Barney of Highgate was born in 1976 and served in the House from 1997 through 2002. Representative Noel Ann Neely of Pomfret was born in 1943 and served in the House from 1977 through 1982. Will you please join me in a moment of silence in memory of these House members? It's hard to believe that is the last day for our pages. It's my privilege to recognize and express gratitude to this final group of legislative pages for their invaluable contributions this session. You joined us during one of the busiest times, supporting us as we wrap up our final bills and reach the end of the legislative biennium. It is bittersweet to say goodbye today, but on behalf of everyone that works in this building, I want to thank you for the energy and dedication that you have brought to the State House. It has been truly inspiring. Your work as legislative pages serves as a unique and important role in our legislative process, carrying the conversations and documents that spur the creations of bills to later become law. And like the pages that have come before you, your service in the State House is forever sealed in the halls and chambers under this golden dome. And now you are part of history and members, not just of the 2026 legislative session, but this legislative family. I hope that you were able to learn new things, explore all the nooks and crannies of this building, listen in on the legislative process, and all the while forming meaningful relationships and friendships. I hope that you will stay connected to this institution for years to come, and one day in the future reunite to share the stories of your time here. The doors of the State House are open for anyone who wants to come and visit, and that holds especially true to all of you. Again, on behalf of everyone here, we wish you the very best in all of your future endeavors and hope to see you again soon. Thank you for your service. I will now present the pages with their pen, and we'll take a photo. Will you please hold your applause to the end, and we will give them a big thank you again. First, we have Shepard Finch of Chester. Next, Graham Gilman of Moortown. Next is Kiera Hall-Martin of Fairleigh. Next is Leila Tarrant of Montpelier. Next is Maeve Wallstrom of Whitingham. Next is Lula Walker of Montpelier. And last, we have Tamsin Wilson of Manchester Center. Will you please join me in thanking them one more time? Members, we have received a request to read two House concurrent resolution that the House and Senate adopted pursuant to the consent calendar. The first is HCR 273, which is a House concurrent resolution recognizing May 2026 as National Tennis Month in Vermont. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas on May 21st, 1881, the United States Tennis Association, USTA, originally known as the United States National Lawn Tennis Association, was founded in New York, to create rules and standards for the emerging game of lawn tennis. And whereas the USTA is the nonprofit national governing body for tennis in the United States and leads the promotion and growth of the sport at every level of play, from beginners to professionals at the US Open. And whereas, as the largest tennis organization in the world, the USTA has over 550,000 members from every corner of the country. And whereas the USTA proudly partners with the local tennis programs to showcase the important health, social, and educational benefits of tennis, and it makes the sport available to everyone, regardless of age, environment, condition, or ability, through its USTA Adaptive Tennis Grants. And whereas, according to an annual study from the Physical Activity Council, a partnership of 8 of the major governing bodies and trade associations in the U.S. sports and leisure industry, more than 27.3 million Americans played tennis in 2025, an unprecedented 6.2% increase in participation over 2024, and the highest number of players since the study began in 2007. And whereas increasing the accessibility of tennis for Vermonters of all ages and abilities has enabled the USTA to contribute to making Vermont communities happier and healthier. And whereas the USTA has designated the month of May as National Tennis Month in order to encourage players, organizations, facilities, retailers, tennis manufacturers, and others to promote local programs and activities at parks and facilities to showcase tennis and spread the word about the sport and its benefits, and to help players and non-players alike find courts and playing opportunities in their communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly recognizes May 2026 as National Tennis Month in Vermont, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to USTA New England.
Next is HCR 289, which is a House concurrent resolution congratulating the 2026 Brattleboro Union High School Championship mock trial team. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas for the past decade, the Vermont Mock Trial Competition for high school students has offered students a combined educational and experiential opportunity to engage in the full scope of the courtroom process. And whereas in 2026, the students were challenged with a criminal case listing charges of murder, as well as an accessory and conspiracy to commit murder. And whereas the participating student attorneys were presented a case packet consisting of a maximum of 6 witness affidavits and associated exhibits. Based on these materials, they drafted opening statements, direct and cross-examination questions, and closing arguments. And whereas the competition's curriculum also includes instruction on courtroom procedure and the rules of evidence. And whereas, aside from the litigation-specific elements, this academic exercise enables the students to improve their critical thinking and public speaking skills. And whereas this year's competition was held at Vermont Law and Graduate School in South Royalton on March 14th, 2026, and the panel of 15 judges included members of the federal and state judiciary as well as practicing lawyers. And whereas after all the trial proceedings had concluded and the judges assessed the student advocates, the Brattleboro Union High School BUHS team was awarded first place honors. And whereas the BUHS lawyers were Abraham Ballant-Wool, Danny Mahoney-Schmidt, Sal North, and Isabel Young. And the school's student witnesses were Leland Stromberg, Eli Welsh, and Gilbert Comoves. And the faculty coaches were Tessa Anders and Ashley Nadeau, and Alicia Sanders served as the practicing attorney advisor. And whereas the selection of BUHS as the competition's top team reflects the diligent preparation of these outstanding students. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly congratulates the 2026 Brattleboro Union High School Championship mock trial team, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to BUHS.
Are there any announcements? Member from Jericho.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just heard a resolution announcing that May is Tennis Month in Vermont. It is part of a national movement. Tennis is, I think many studies have shown, the most healthy sport. I know, not golf, tennis, not pickleball, tennis, just saying. And people live longer, you use your brain, you use your body. It's a great way to get out there and enjoy the lovely weather that we have in Vermont. With us today in the gallery, we have a number of USTA Vermont Board of Directors and Advisors celebrating this sport, again, promoting health and longevity, offering opportunities to learn. Anybody wants to learn this summer, there are so many ways to learn and compete, any age, any ability. And it is a way for communities to unite and allow people to have personal growth on the tennis courts. So with us today, we have the president of USTA Vermont, Joanna Beal, the secretary, Deb Narotsky, treasurer, Frank Constantino, social impact chair, Joyce Dowd, State League Committee co-chair, Heidi Willoughby, one of our members, Ken Scott, USTA Recreation and League coordinator, Jen Weiss, and Vermont Senior Games president, Kevin Plant. And again, they are with us in the balcony.
Will the guest and member from Jericho please rise and be recognized? Member from Westminster.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of myself and the representative from Rockingham, who used to be a district mate, and the representative from Chester, who would be the representative for our devotional presenters today, it's my great pleasure to introduce Ben Partridge, who is senior management at Okemo Mountain, and his mother, former Representative Carolyn Partridge, who served here in this chamber for 24 years and then retired to become a side judge. And she's currently a side judge serving in my county of Windham County. She also served her community for many years as a school board member, including looking over the small little school that my own grandchild went to for all the years of elementary school. So I'm very grateful to both Carolyn and her son Ben for providing this annual devotional that we all look forward to.
Will the former member and guest of the member from Westminster please rise and be recognized? Member from Brattleboro.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the members from Guilford, Brattleboro, and Putney, which happens to include 2 trial attorneys, I want to welcome the members of the Brattleboro Union High School mock trial competition, which happens to include some tennis stars, to the People's House today. The skills they've learned in productive, thoughtful debate would serve us all well here in our chamber and are a credit to our community and our future. They will be spending the rest of the morning in our various committees, and I encourage you to give them a warm welcome.
Will the guest of the member from Brattleboro please rise and be recognized? Member from Winooski.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm rising this morning to introduce three very special guests here today. My fiance and parents are seated in the balcony, and their love and support truly makes it possible for me to serve here. So I'd ask that the body please help me welcome them to the People's House.
Will the family of the member from Winooski please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from Essex Junction.
Madam Speaker, the House Democrats will caucus in room 11 at 11:15. Thank you.
Member from Poultney.
Madam Speaker, House Republicans will caucus at 11:15 in room 10.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, orders of the day. Members, at this time, after conferring with chairs and leadership, we have several amendments coming forth in committees who need to continue to take votes. So we will be addressing all of the bills on the calendar at 1 p.m. So with that, the House will stand in recess until the fall of the gavel at 1 p.m.